Alright, this is my charcoal burn pit. What we've got is these large pieces of tree root. You know, this is what was under the trunk basically and were dug up. And they're too big to go in the burn barrels. I'm going to use one of these. One's got burnt out at the bottom. That's my magic sieve that I sieve the charcoal out with. And this is a sort of kindling stuff. I can make charcoal out of this, and it makes it very quickly. So at the moment I'm just using this I used it to start that fire. Plus, you can see, or maybe not, this top of a tree really with leaves. The leaves burn really well. And the leaves from the floor, they burn really well. They're only any good for starting the fire, but you need them. I started the fire at the right hand side. That's there. And it's working its way along. And I've got big stuff on top, so what'll happen, well, I hope, yeah, it's starting to happen already down the bottom, is the heavy stuff on top will crush the wood that has turned already to charcoal. Step back a bit, step over my traps. Anyway, so what happens is the stuff at the bottom, which I lit first and was smaller, and because it was at the bottom, that's where it started to turn to charcoal first. As that wood turns to charcoal, it will break, and the heavy stuff on top will crush it down. I'll see how I go. I might put some more wood on, heavy stuff, and I should end up with a pit full of extremely hot charcoal at the bottom. Then over there, that's the husks off of rice. And what I'll do is I'll start tipping that, throwing that, shoveling it, whatever, onto the fire. And what that does is it starts to starve the fire of oxygen. Then, once I decided, it's more of an art than a science, that I've made enough charcoal. I mean, there's still going to be some wood not turned to charcoal, but if you wait for all the wood to turn to charcoal, then the charcoal at the bottom starts to turn to ash. So you kind of got to decide. So I'll put the rice husks on it, and then you can see I got the pile of dirt that I dug out of the hole. Then I'll put that on top. Now, once this has all been covered up, believe it or not, I've got to leave it for between 2 to 4 weeks before I open it up again. I once opened a previous pit 2 weeks after it was covered up, and it caught fire again. The heat's going to stay in there for ages. I mean, the ground gets warm anyway from the sun, and although it's quite relatively cool here at the moment, you know, it's going down to 18 centigrade at night, so we're all freezing. It's a beautiful sunny day. I won't point the camera at the sun, but boy, these are the days. This would be a day that would make the newspapers in England as a summer's day. Anyway, the other thing is making the charcoal this way. You can see that there's lots of flames and not so much smoke. You normally get a lot of smoke when you make it in a barrel because you've got a lot less air, and that, you know, you want less air to turn it to charcoal. This way I'm going to be sacrificing some charcoal to ash, but the flames are basically the flames are the burning smoke, so it's a lot less smoky. The carbon dioxide coming off is food for the plants, and everybody needs that. And I just love doing it. I think I'm a pyromaniac. Oh, it's a hard life here. I've only got my swimming costume on, so I won't show you that because I don't want to spoil it later.